live. Oh, I hear myself. That's not good. There we go. There we go. Oh, hello, Gablet. I did not know you were joining me for some serial ASMR, but I thought that we'd hop straight into it because I've got everything set up and ready to go. Oh, hang on. Let me. Oh wait, hang on. I also realized I forgot to turn down the volume, so the game is going to be turbo loud. Hang on. Sound. Let's turn that down. Yeah. We also have to add you to the casters. Oh god, this is a terrible start because I thought it was just going to be me. There we go. Just tell me when you're ready to go. Then I can scoreboard objects. That. I also need to make sure that. Oh no! Wait, hang on. The League of Legends game has not been found. Capture any full screen. There we go. I turned it on to capture any full screen application and it worked. Okay, this is probably the most scuffed thing I've ever seen, but it's fine. I don't know. Well, it's AMX. I mean, you could say something about like extinguishing because it's fire, isn't it? The firelights. um um. Oh God. Oh, I don't want to say it. Hang on. No, I can't think of one. Wait, hang on. Yeah, yeah. Let's go. Right, nice. Pog. Okay. Do you have the game loaded? Okay. Right. Oh, right. Okay. Let me transition it forward then. There we go. Also, it is a really awkward time to stream. It is 10:30 in the morning. I have rolled out of bed. Let's go. Okay. Right. Are you ready? Three, two, one, go. There we go. Okay, I'm in. What time are you at, just to make sure? I'm at 10. Oh, Jesus. Okay. There we go. Right. We're fine. We're fine now. We are in sync. Let me zoom out a little. There we go. Oh wait, hang on. Why is it? Oh, it just says champion name. Hang on. Why is it doing this? Summoner name. There we go. There's that little change that's needed. Oh. Yep. As I'm changing my settings. Oh yeah. Oh, as the hook lands onto Akio. Akio's going to be forced to take the stun to dash away. Very nice play from AMX there. Just feigning the invade to the bot side and still going through with the top side invade anyway. So, well, onto the red side, I should say. But, yeah. Yeah, as TFL now have been found out inside that bush, but a lot of damage has been going on to Rectox, as looks like the Art of Insects is looking for to steal away this red. The ward is there, so Styx does know, so this could lead to some vertical jungling. Yeah, most likely it will be the case. But one thing that I have noticed about, I'm going to turn off the chat so the pings don't get really annoying and pop up all the time. One thing I have noticed is that TFL's composition is quite heavily AP favored in the sense of that their two main carry positions, you know, the mid and the AD carry, are both AP. As Zephyr taking Winter extremely low on that Syndra. The Corrupting Pots, though, there for some good sustain. Oh, wait. I forgot to turn you up. Wait.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll be even louder.
Yeah, then you were just on mute, so I was just talking to myself.
Nice. Even more scuff. Perfect. Exactly what we like. But yeah, we do see vertical jungling coming out. I would say that actually favors the side of AMX. Even though TFL are the ones that have sort of opted into this, you're more likely going to want to focus the mid and potentially bot lane, even though both bot lanes are quite slippy. You can try and get kills onto like Nautilus and Vigar. Whereas I don't really think you're expected to do too much in the top matchup. You can attempt to dive, but you have to time it very well.
Yeah, the whole point of the Graves top side is that he's sort of left alone, and that he goes, you know, the full breaker and looks to just be that nuisance in the top side. Really good wave play, really nice quick pushing capability. But good flash from the Greg, of course, not the flash from Winter, as the Art of Insects is here, but there's a little bit of miscommunication as it goes to two different targets now. Insects looks like they're in a little bit of trouble thanks to the wind wall. The tower shot does even out the trade for TFL, but I'm not sure if it's a sub-jungler or if it's someone new, but a little bit of communication there on the focus.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing there is you just save Syndra from going down. Yeah, Adrenaline gonna just dash away from that one. And you'd never expect that to really hit. Like our stack check, we're on 11 already. I don't know if that's any good.
That's quite good for him. He's farming quite well with his Q. It is only one stack per kill with the Q, isn't it, on the minions?
Yeah. So, although if you can catch the enemy in your cages, or with the Q, you will also get a stack like that.
You get a stack off the stone?
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure if someone walks into the wall, it counts as stack.
There is a funky new bug where if you have flash on there and your if you have your flash on Epicor, then your actions a better player is going to get flashed on. He has no flash himself. Dancing with the fantastic roam to facilitate that kill. First look over to the Yasuo. And that's not what you want to see if you are TFL. You know, Yasuo, we all know what he can do when he's ahead and dead. It's the Art of Insects and Akio now kind of looks to do something, but using the fact that Akio was spotted to ease through the wall. Zephyr on this Yasuo proving to be very mechanically skilled.
I mean, Winter not having a fun matchup in the mid lane here. It just doesn't look to be too comfortable. Maybe hasn't played the matchup much before. As you can see, the Yasuo getting way ahead. The kill. CS lead for the kill, you know? Just Yasuo things.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Just Yasuo. Not really much to talk about there, just run by time to use the flash. I mean, you could flash away, but the flash didn't get caught out either. When Akio and Pineapples did rotate over to try and support Winter, so... But Winter now potentially caught out again. But Styx and Zephyr not committing too hard. So back to the neutral state as the first Drake of the game is up and available. It is a Mountain Drake, so both teams may be looking quite heavily for those +6% resistances. I can say that AMX with their priority in the mid lane. And good control of the river. Starting up the Drake. And TFL takes back over the wall for Santu. Zephyr delivering. There's the airborne. There's the whatever it's called for the Aqua. Which Winter just getting nice down there. But by Zephyr. But Zephyr's gonna get the fight actually steals the Mountain Drake. AMX chose the fight, but TFL chose the Drake. They, in the end, get it just for the price of Winter.
I mean, one Drake for a kill this early on, generally not so much worth. Yeah, like you're giving 300 gold over essentially for that Drake, unless you think you're going to be stacking those Drakes and getting towards that early soul. It's not really worth that much. It might have just been better for them to stick in their lanes, get a little bit of XP, a little bit more gold. But at least they do get the mountain, I suppose. If you've got to have someone die, at least get something for it.
Yeah, exactly. And those plus, is it +6% resistances on the mini buff they get? I think it's +6.
Yeah, 6. It is 6.
Yeah, that's actually quite big, to be fair. Especially now that Syndra's already started to stack the armor with the so.
Yeah, when you think about it, you're looking at like, if you build a little bit of resistances, you're already looking at getting like 5 to 6 extra armor.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. It's worth 100 or more gold. So I do think actually just the base stats on the mountain are potentially the strongest of the Drakes, just for what it gives you. The only opposing view is potentially an early ocean, because it just essentially gives you like almost a pot for your lane.
Yeah, that's Akil is in for Raktos. Raktos does get ignited though, but there's the flash for Akil, but the ult from Styx to bring him back in. The Pike falls as a resident Pike beta. Isolate seeing that, but Styx is gonna fall anyway. As Adrenaline is gonna accidentally auto the control ward, and Adrenaline will fall as well. The 2-for-1 for AMX. As never mind, it looks like Zephyr is over in a fantastic wind wall for the unleashed power. There's the airborne using the last pressure on top of Winter, but there's the shutdown for the Arthur intersection. Now that they've kind of got away from the Nar and the normal. Raktos, he missed the flag and dragged in the Arthur intersection. Backfield now, the fight has been going on so long that he's trying to die and respawn, but taking so much damage from Raktos. The bone plating as well has come back, and so is Styx. Big elongated fight ending a 3-for-1 for the side of TFL as Santu does get hooked there. No level 6 for Akil there. He's probably cursing that he isn't level 6. That was definitely execute range. As the Ezreal ultimate is coming up and it's going to kill. No, it's not. Akil just actually healed just enough.
Yeah, not quite enough damage. I mean, if you're on the side of TFL, great. You know, you got a kill. You're coming back. It's just sad that 500 gold went onto your Jarvan as opposed to your Syndra, who was straight there. Syndra already looking like this is going to be a very tough game, especially rushing as much armor as she is. A lot of people forget, but Yasuo, when he ults you, actually gets, I think it's 50% armor pen.
As Styx comes in now, Adrenaline, nothing he can do, just pop the Predator, walked at, and then he got a bit of a belly to the face. Without that Immortal Shield, though, life steal.
Oh, it's
probably because the game is really loud. Oh, wow.
Yasuo's
21.
Yasuo's crits ignore 50% of your bonus armor after he is ulted. What? So that's why, yep. So he basically gets 50% armor pen after he ults. A little bit worse than that, but not much worse.
Yeah, that's not very balanced. There we go, and then we'll see now. Look at how much damage Zephyr is doing to Winter. That's not very fair. There's the flash Q. I think Zephyr is just styling now in this mid lane, recognizing that Winter is not too confident in this matchup and just really abusing that discomfort. And also, Lisky, is that better? The Gambler did have a little bit of a... Is that better? Please tell me.
Hopefully it's better, otherwise you have to turn me up even more.
Oh no. God, I have to do the thing of I'll have to alt tab and turn you up in Discord. But ooh, Gonkast taking a little bit of damage. From pineapples there. That was a lot of damage, but the Predator's now coming in. Good dodge off the explosive gas. Or whatever it's called for pineapples. That's a very aggressive flash from Pineapples. He's hoping to find the kill onto Gonkast, but it's not enough, but never mind. Pike comes through. What a supportive champion, having an execute on ultimate. But still, nevertheless, it is a 1-for-1, but did burn the flash of the Vigar, so I think that's more worth for AMX at that point.
Well, and you've got to remember, Pike ult got the kill, so it is actually 2 kills worth of gold.
Oh yeah, true. As Raktox just decides to casually 1v1 the Graves, but I think it's a very even trade there. We don't know though, but we're looking at the Drake players. The Art of Insects has to smite early, but it does not matter. Akulit's going to find the stun, and are they all going to get out? There's the Ezreal True Shot Barrage. Art of Insects forced to flash away. Winter is being just chased down by sticks, but the Corrupting Potion sustain coming through. And Adrenaline needs to be extremely careful here as the Divine Sunderer healing is going to mean that Raktox is a lot more healthier than him, as well with the fleet footwork.
Nice to see Insects holding his nerve there, sitting in the Dragon Pit, forcing him to come to him before flashing over the wall. May as well wait it out, see if maybe you can get your E to respawn before they actually start running towards you.
Yeah.
The problem with the Syndra build right now is it's going to be a very long time until Syndra can really do anything in this game.
Oh. Art of Insects. Interesting decision to flag and drag in against Zephyr there. Zephyr does have that, well, it's 3-on-1, was 3-on-1 at the time. You'd have that shield bow and Berserker's Groove. So I think even if they did get enough damage down, it wouldn't have been enough for their Pike execute. But Yasuo now.
Ooh.
Potentially caught out here. There's a big stun. There's the ult. The 2 ults have been expended and he's still not dead. Syndra does get the shutdown in the end. There's the Immortal Shield Bow for Adrenaline, but it's not enough. Sanfu with the hook as well. It is just, you know, so much CC.
Plain. Yeah, I mean, oh.
Woo.
But yeah, plates are down. We see, yes, I think. Oh, Insects walking in. Sadly for the Jarvan, he did attempt to ult Yasuo in that last fight, and the interesting interaction, if you start your jump into the ult, but you die midway through, the cage will not appear and your ult will go on cooldown, which kind of sucks. Very unfortunate, but that is how the ability works.
Yeah.
I would like to see, I can't remember what the anti-shield item is.
Oh, Serpent's Fang.
Serpent's Fang, yeah, I think Art of Insects here could actually just go into the Serpent's Fang. When you look at the enemy team, sure they don't look like they have a load of shields. What you got to remember is this is a Yasuo with a shield bow. And he's the one that's ahead. He's the one you're going to struggle to kill. Getting that extra damage just on your initial engage to pop through that shield that he's going to get as soon as you damage him could be very useful.
I mean, as well, the lethality that it'll provide on his already quite low armor stats will be quite good as well. Gets you closer to just almost one-popping him, and then that less shield helps the Syndra ultimate just shred through his health bar, or the Vigar ultimate, I should say. Which is probably what the TFL are going to be relying a lot on in the late game. That Vigar. Using that ult to pop the Yasuo. But right now, it's not looking like that time is gonna come anytime soon. As Winter has just been touched into the side lane with Zephyr. As Styx now, it looks like they're gonna try and form a dive. There is just no one here to help. As Sanfu does get hooked over the wall, there is the Ignite going down, forcing the flash. But there's the flash from Akio, and there is the ult, and that is a support, everyone. Very supportive characteristics. As there's the airborne, the last breath, and Yasuo does indeed get the kill. And that is the end of Winter.
There's a nice hold on the cast from Gragas until Winter had already flashed. Realized that the only way Winter can live there is by saving the flash until the cast comes down to get the knockup.
Yeah, ooh, big stun from Gonkas. Not onto Gonkas, I should say, by Pineapples. But doesn't need to cleanse yet. Does have those Mercury Treads so that that stun is not as big an issue. But I have just
Buffing the AP Gragas as well. It's we're gonna see a bit of a poppy boy, see if he can pop some fools. I mean, the enemy team's not very tanky, so you can see it makes some sort of sense to just build to one-shot them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, it's... And as well, I just noticed that every single champion, other than Sanfu, has a way, I'm pretty sure, to get out of Jarvan ult. Because I think Gragas can go through the wall.
Gragas can, Nog and Hop. Yeah, they can all get out.
They can all get out. So the ultimate from Jarvan is literally just for damage, I think, at this point.
I mean, or you've got to hold it to try and get either Gragas after he's eat already.
Oh, and Art of Insects is just going to go down there. There's the big stun, but Pineapples can't angle that stun correctly. There's the ultimate, or the depth charge from Sanfu onto Winter. Just a bit of a... Winter is not having the best game so far. Just a bit of a rough one for him as AMX. And now just styling on TFL, really, all over the map in that mid lane. Which was a play that TFL themselves wanted to commit to. The hook.
Interesting to see the draft, actually, for this game. Because when you look at AMX's team, they've got... Yeah, they couldn't be much happier, really, with the team that they've got. You maybe swap out the Gnar from Malphite or something with just a bit more of a solid engaged team fight, and you've almost got the perfect draft. So it'd be very interesting to see what was banned that somehow ended them here.
And the Art of Insects getting a small shield, so that will help with the Ignite, and he will not fall, but you know, just this vision control established by everyone on AMX, you know, just the jungle support duo been roaming together extremely well. Zephyr has been roaming as well when he needs to, and helping establish that vision. And you can just see on the bot side of the map, on the red side, actually, just the control ward and 2 wards. That's pretty much the entire red side jungle warded for AMX. TFL can't move anywhere without being spotted, really. So it's going to be interesting to see how TFL try and come back in this game. You know, they do still have the Vigar. Vigar is still always going to be a nuisance, whether you like it or not. He will always scale. Jarvan with that solid engage as well. The EQ. Maybe able to get
realistically, they need Syndra in the game. And it's so awkward right now. She has components for 3 different items. And it's just going to take quite a while for her to become a real champion in this game. 20 minutes, 0 items finished.
Yeah, as the Art of Insects
it's a rough one.
By Sanfu, protecting the ward. As there's the EQ into the hook. Big, and there's a big stun as well onto Styx. This could be the fight that they need, TFL, as they do pick up a pick onto Sanfu, but now they're being collapsed upon by all the remains, and there's a double airborne by Zephyr, as Zephyr picks up the kill onto Akio, and they're chasing down the Art of Insects, but direct to camera would rather show us the really interesting one-on-one that's happening between the Graves and the Gnar. Art of Insects did manage to get out, but AMX now opting to start up the Baron. Another Q. Oh, never mind.
Vigar.
Just an ult from Vigar is enough for that. Winter did TP in. There is the wind wall for the ultimate, the flash E, as Winter does go down as well. The Art of Insects gonna also fall as Zephyr's now just in the middle. Pineapples could potentially find a Q onto Styx. Does not manage to find it. The W is gonna be dodged by Zephyr. Whether they carry on this push or not is a different question, but Adrenaline now regrouping with his team. Pineapples using that Predator. It was a really nice bait from AMX, and they only lost 1 for it, to be honest, on that Baron fight for the price of 2, and also a TP.
Oh, Zephyr's found the Vigar.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
And this is why you need the Syndra online, because if your Vigar's your only big threat, realistically, then Zephyr's flashes up and get the knock-up ready. He can flash onto Vigar, and that'll be one dead little stack midget.
Yeah, that will be one dead little. Bloody hell. Stack midget.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh. Yeah, Zephyr. And out of HP. Raktox is actually caught on the wrong side of the rift there, as Winter forced a flash away from the cast. Probably expecting the Yasuo ultimate to be back up. Considering every time that ultimate has been thrown out by Styx, Zephyr has ulted on top of it. So
and this will keep happening over and over. Interesting random thing. Ezreal builds. So I recently went with the Essence Reaver build, and I gotta say, it felt so bad. But when I played it, I felt like you did just the Essence Reaver Dusk Blade. You just feel like you do no damage compared to if you just go Triforce instead. Oh,
as Art of Insects, that was a very nice attempt, really. You have to try something, as it is the Ocean Soul. I did not comment on that. That's a pretty big... if they get 4 Ocean Drakes on the side of AMX, then it is going to be an extremely difficult game to chase for TFL.
Yeah, the only good thing is they have a lot of burst. Ocean Drake, of course, basically does not help against burst whatsoever, because it takes a few seconds for it to come into play and start healing. It'll also encourage the side of TFL to build even more and build some anti-heal, which is very sad for Yasuo, because he does build a lot of that lifesteal already.
Styx using that Sonya's, a lot has been used, and that's a fantastic E from Syndra straight into the Vigar cage. Okay, now that's actually a dirty combo I did not realize existed in this game. As Styx falls to the Vigar ultimate, and Goncast trying to pick up that red buff, cannot. But Pineapples is now starting to look a little bit scary. Last time I checked, he did have 202 stacks on that passive. So that is more than a Rabadon.
223.
223 now. That is more than a Rabadon. For statisticians who care about that. Yeah, it's now Art of Insects and Akiel going into the red side, looking to establish that vision, trying to find out what AMX are up to. The Styx comes back again, please, Alex Pro Wood.
So Vigar is on 463 even ability power right now. 498 with that latest purchase.
Yeah, and Akiel is going to find the damage onto Sanfu. There's the ultimate and there's the execute. Just remember, that is a support, by the way, everyone. I will say that every time there's a pike in the game. There's TP coming in from Winter, but I don't think that's exactly where you want to TP into. That's with a very, very aggressive TP, very out of position. Akiel is picked up, but 3 members of TFL just fall one by one. And it's now AMX on the chase. Adrenaline trying to do the best that he can on this Graves. Ragtop's forced to almost kite away, but kite back towards them. Does pick up the dead man's plate, so can give chase. But Zephyr now does have that flash and the nado ready. Chasing.
I would say I find the choice to build Void Staff a bit interesting on Vigar, considering there's no actual MR really been picked up so far on the enemy team. You can see Yasuo's starting to build a little bit, so maybe it's the preemptive I've got to keep being able to kill Yasuo, or
Yeah, as Yasuo just goes straight down. He got Zephyr getting very overzealous there with how much he could tank, as Akil does manage to hit the hook onto Goncast. There's the EQ from the Art of Insect. He managed to get the kill. Sanfu gonna use the locket just before the stun, only donates the kill over to Veigar instead of Syndra. And TFL now starting to find these little picks. AMX probably getting a little bit cocky because of how far ahead they believe they are. And yeah, in reality, they're not that far ahead, and I'm not sure if that's because of the shutdowns or not.
yeah, I think it's mostly because of shutdowns, a little bit bounties. I mean, they did manage to get one in the mid turret at one point. The main problem is where the gold is stacked right now. It's not in the best places for the side of TFL. They have it a little bit more evenly spread, I guess, but the problem is if you take down that Veigar, you're relying on the Graves to pull you through the team fight right now. Ooh.
Wow. Okay, Styx did just get one shot by one spell rotation of Pineapples, showing just how far ahead this Veigar is. And Akio now gonna have to dash away. And one thing I've noticed is that Sanfu in this game is, I mean, I don't know if this is normal, but seemingly extremely underleveled. To where he should be.
I mean, this happens very often with supports, because you're just roaming so much and you almost don't want to be taking the experience from your carries. While levels are important and they are worth quite a lot of gold, when you compare the fact you could have a level compared to your mid laner could have a level, it very much becomes a case of, well, I've already got all of my main skills, probably got, I can't remember what level you actually get to max your first skill, but...
Yeah, level 9, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You already got it max, then
yeah,
it's not the most important
going
thing.
in one on 5. He's going to use that wind wall to block the Graves ultimate. TFL now very split up, but so at AMX. As the MF Frost does not manage to connect, and it's just a poke ward. There is the flash Q ult from Pineapples onto Sanfu, but I'm pretty sure Sanfu won't be worth that much gold anymore. He has died quite a lot without any kill participation. So
TFL have realized that they had this inside route onto the mid lane. I was wondering, because it didn't look like they were going to take it, and they have a very easy inner tower to take off of this. And I expect them to just back off. Looks like they will. Just take the slight win.
Yeah, absolutely. And they take the... I mean, I'm not even sure if it's subjective bounty anymore. I don't think it was. Because the gold coming back, and it's actually swung into TFL's favour despite them not having enough kills. There's a very nice Veigar cage. I'm not sure who picked up that red buff. It was Raktox.
Raktox. Just the Gnar boomerang, managing to take it. Yeah. One thing I will say is it's very sad for the side of TFL that Syndra is so far down on levels. Oh, but there is a fight breaking out.
There's a fight. A good cage does actually manage to close up Zephyr. Zephyr can't manage to escape. There's the Everfrost. Brewed up for so long. Styx is gonna fall though, but Raktox's gonna find a kill on top of Insect. Zephyr has fallen. That's a lot of the gold down from the side of AMX, as they are now looking to try and kill Akil. Akil, though, surviving on just the slimmest of margins, but Goncast is gonna eat in lots of damage thanks to that Essence Reaver. And gonna find the kill onto Pike. It is a 2 for 2 at the end of it all. Pineapples though.
He has no mana.
No mana either. And this is gonna be a big shutdown to whoever they decide to donate it to. It is Raktox on the Gnar. And it's not the best place. Maybe they could have given it over to the Ezreal, but I think the Ezreal did not want to risk it, as Raktox now gonna use that red buff slow to allow Sanfu to come through with the depth charge. There's the Gnar into the stun into the wall. So much CC. Adrenaline can't do anything. And he falls as well. And that's another shutdown into the back pocket of this Gnar. And honestly, with the way Raktox has been playing this game, it's actually not a bad thing that he's getting this.
Yeah, he's getting incredibly tanky at this point, and it's just that can create such a problem for the carries of TFL. Because Graves can't, of course, can't shoot through enemies, so very easy to just stand in front. against AP champions, building resistances is just so good because of how long it will actually take them to burst you down, because they can't actually burst you. Seeing the level 14 Syndra, it's so sad though. Syndra is probably the champion that scales best with levels in the entire game just because of her passive. So trying to get the XP into the Syndra is generally what you want to do, just because as soon as she can max out a skill, she gets such a bonus from it. I think it's 20% bonus damage on her Q. Her W does something like 20% bonus true damage.
Yeah,
It's just
dumb. As Styx falls, I would like to point out the fact that he was not in that W, but still got hit. But anyway, nevertheless, Styx falling to the Vigar that Q. It's the
we
Rabadon
see
buff.
the problem with
Oh,
let's go down pineapples.
yeah, that was a nice cage by Pineapples. He's forced to Zhonya's thanks to the True Shot Barrage coming in from Gonkas. And that's a very big cooldown. The Zhonya's Akil is there. Good wind wall from the Yasuo. Yasuo is going to use that Silver Mid Dawn for the QSS as Nard comes into the backline, does manage to hit a stun onto one. Gonkas managed to finish off the Jarvan. Winter falls as well. Akil is next. Pineapples is the only one surviving. And you know, Graves is on the split push, but he's not built the Hull Breaker. His minions don't have that extra armor, don't have anything that makes him a nuisance in that side lane. And AMX can now freely almost just run it down mid and potentially end the game.
They'll probably try to. I would expect Gragas to be trying to stop the Graves back here, because the other three can definitely kill Pineapples in this situation. They need essentially one little bit of CC to hit, although Zephyr did take a lot of damage. Wasn't enough to burst him, but I'm not sure what Vigar's building last. I'm slightly surprised it's not the item which, you know, bursts through shields, considering right now at the moment it feels like he can one-shot everyone except the Yasuo. The reason Yasuo is living is the sheer size of the shield.
Yeah.
Interesting. Vigar 331 stacks, has gone over the 1000 ability power mark. So we are getting there. Hopefully Syndra will hit 16 soon and get that extra 75 range on her ultimate. And will help her with her spacing a lot.
Yeah.
I can actually see the early Seeker's arm guard picked up by Syndra still not been built into anything.
Yeah, options are going for the Void Staff for the Magic Pen. It says the flash by Zephyr, and this is just the end of Pineapples. Or is it? No, he might survive on 1 HP. Good flash, a mistimed Q from Zephyr, but there's the EQ into the cage. Not much that they can do. Arthur's Insect now being slowed by that Shirayu's Grudge.
It's gonna walk straight.
Yeah, oh no, never mind. The Mystic Shot doesn't manage to find its target. And this surely has got to be the end. TFL does not have Pineapples. Winter is really the only one left standing. Adrenaline is on the side, but there's the flash EQ. Oh, there is the last breath from Yasuo. He's going to find the kill. There's the depth charge onto Akil. He is going to connect later rather than sooner, I should say. As the wind wall goes up now just to deny any damage onto AMX. And it seems like AMX are done playing with their food and that they're going to just end the game. But TFL, a very stalwart, almost near comeback in that game.
Yeah, that was. They showed signs of life. They were doing quite well. It's just a bit too much for them to overcome. Going into game 2, I mean, I would expect that there has been a lot more bans towards the mid lane, because that was where everything sort of came from and started to go wrong. I'd be very surprised if we see another Yasuo.
Yeah.
However,
yeah.
As I say that, I see there is in fact Yasuo back again.
I mean, maybe TFL. I mean, the stream can't see it yet. I am just currently. I'm gonna sort out everything because it may not. Because I don't think it is the best quality right now. So it is very cringe.
So what I'm gonna say is, I think somehow AMX actually have a better team here than last time to set up for Yasuo.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not too much to say about that. This time the Yasuo has a Diana jungle. So another AP jungler that this time isn't going to be able to provide the knock up until level 6, but you know, you don't really need to provide the knock up until level 6 anyway. I am still not terrible, apparently.
What?
Now might be the chance, because no tapping out of game. I feel like Liz might be trolling us. let me unmute the stream for me and see if I can hear myself.
I am. I have put you on 200% now on Discord. What the fuck?
Liz is trolling us. Oh,
wait, is
they
it
can't
me?
hear you. Okay, you can turn me down a bit then.
There we go. How about now? No, I'm kidding. There we go. I'll turn myself up a little bit.
Oh God, you're way too loud.
It broke the scale on the chart. Right, okay, let me turn myself down a little bit.
I think this seems good.
Yeah, there we go. I've made it so that I'm peaking like not just outside the red, but my microphone is now right next to my face. So I just have like I just have this big foam in front of my face. Anyway, right, I will transition it now. Okay, thank you, Liz, for helping me, because now it won't be scuffed for your game against Phoenix Ascension. There we go. Scuff it on the VODs, don't scuff it on the live games. There we go.
Oh wait, you're at 10 seconds. Let me get to 10 seconds.
Yeah. I agree, Lisk, it's true.
I'm at 10.
You at 10?
Ready. Yep.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, this time Yeso has a Malphite to set up for him as well, which will be even better. And I think that Malphite, the Malphite Nautilus is just going to be a better frontline than the previous frontline was, even though you're essentially trading out a Gragas and a Gnar. Gragas was AP anyway, so not really a frontline. But yeah, Raktox here, much better frontline. But I just feel like AMX somehow have an even better team than last time.
Yeah, they do. I think they do. Just Malphite as well into Mordekaiser, I think, can do very well. Nautilus and Tristana have a better synergy when they go in together than Nautilus Ezreal. So just all around, the team composition is a lot better, and the damage. But on the other side as well, TFL I think also have a better composition than last game, because they have a bit more damage diversity. So it's not like, oh, just build magic resist and then half the team is useless. Now the
yeah,
go on.
It's nice to have an actual AD carry here. I mean, Grace kind of is, but
oh, never mind.
A lot of damage.
Akil, already down to half HP. As the Nado already hitting from Zephyr. I was silent and waiting to see if I was going to have to comment.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is it's still a lot of magic damage. Yeah. But you're not too sad about that, considering their main tank is a Malphite, so it's a lot better than the other direction. But we'll have to see how Winter... hopefully they should have expected the Yasuo to come out again. So I'm guessing this might be a matchup that he's more familiar with, one that he's more comfortable in. So we should hopefully see the Rise doing a bit better than we saw in terms of Syndra's last game.
Yeah. And I think Rise is a lot easier to pilot into the Yasuo matchup than a Syndra, because you can just press W on the Yasuo before Windwall and he becomes slowed, and it makes it harder for the Yasuo to either escape or get on top of you, however you decide to utilize the W. And the setup for Zac as well with the slow is really, really nice.
Yeah. Be interested in... Yeso has only taken one magic resist rune. I know sometimes when you see a AP mid and jungle, a lot of people do actually like to tech into the double magic resist runes, just because the amount of value that it gives you against those ganks and the trades in lane is just ridiculous. You essentially don't need to build MR for like the entire game.
Yeah. That sounds like fun. As and oh, I will assume that a pause was done there because the Zap did disconnect, but reconnect immediately as Diana. I did not even notice, but Styx is looking for an invade. Reminds me of the early Svenskeren days where the laners just get priority and he goes on his lonesome trying to invade the jungle. Oh, my voice. Hello.
Yeah, hello. And there is a fight.
Yeah, that's a very big double knock from the Art of Insects, but missing the Q, which is very sad for TFL. There's the auto attack, the E forward from Akil, but Pineapple's not on the same page, so looking to try and regroup with the team. Did force out the flash from Sanfu though, which is very good for the TFL bot lane. Now Sanfu and Goncast do have to play a little bit more safe. Never mind, they just ward and find Akil again.
I would quite like to see actually the Zac look towards this top lane, because although the mid lane and bot lane are really struggling, you can just give this if you can get a kill onto the Mordekaiser, the Mordekaiser can really start snowballing that matchup up top, and then you can focus on the rest of the map without having to worry too much.
Yeah, as Sanfu finds the hook onto Pineapples, as Goncast is going to find a near full bomb explosion. And
is TFL's bot lane seem to be playing the let me see if I can hit my ally with the bomb game.
Yeah.
I personally quite like to play it, but you know, it's a competitive match. Maybe you should try not to hit your ally as well with the bomb that's on your head. I don't know.
Forgetting that it does damage, but there is the interaction that I said. Just Winter can press the W onto Zephyr and make it near impossible for him to chase. And I would like to quickly bring it away from the League of Legends and say, Lisk, that is very cool. Our countdown when we started the game matched up with his timer for breakfast, which is very cool. As Sanfu does go down, Pineapples, eating Sanfu for breakfast. There's the link as to why I went on that little tangent. And first blood over to TFL.
And that is a bit of a godsend if you're TFL right now, because although you weren't behind on gold, you do have a bit of a worry looking at how the bot side of the map is going. Mid and bot lane were both falling behind in CS, so a kill, a little bit of pressure is very helpful.
What is the average elo for this game? God, it's if you were to average it out, it's probably plat diamond, right? Maybe
probably high plat, I would think.
Yeah, mid plat. Yeah, mid high plat.
I think the lowest player in the game, I think Winter, is gold.
No,
mid gold.
Wow.
Was he not gold before? Maybe he's not gold.
I thought he was. I thought he was high silver when I last checked, but I don't know. If he's ranked up, that's very pog. Which brings it up a little bit more to high plat. High platinum is the average.
Winter's silver 2 apparently right now, so you know it's expected he'll struggle in the matchups, but we'll hope. Silver 2, OP.GG, Diamond and Heart.
That's me. That's me. I'm joking. I'm just silver and OP.GG and iron in heart. Anyway, pain. Yeah. The game.
Light fight over the bar. Art of Insects does get it.
Yeah. Using that smite, and does actually upgrade his smite in the process. Diana does have one more smite left in the bank. And that's actually pretty big.
Use the scuttle.
Yeah, and she did. But that's really big for Insects, I think, because even that small little lead can help generate so much tempo for TFL and help them start making plays all across the map. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Insects start looking towards this mid lane to try and relieve some of the pressure on Winter, as every single time the directed camera has panned to this mid lane, it has been shoved in.
Yeah, I will say Winter's looking okay so far. He's fallen behind, but he's not given over any kills this time. which is basically what you want. You want to buy time for this Rise to slowly get his way into the game. I'll be interested to see whether he's going for an AP build or a tankier build. Ooh,
Yeah,
but
oh,
first
and
item.
there's a very nice root and ult coming in from Winter. It's going to almost set up the kill onto Sanfu, but Sanfu using that potion very well. Does manage to stay alive, but did have to burn the flash. Another big win for the TFL bot lane. If Akil can land the hook onto Sanfu, then he is more likely good. Well, more likely dead than anything, really.
Let's say they were so close to having a kill there, and Insects did just miss the Zac knockup. I think with the extra like half second,
yeah,
or whatever the knockup gives, they would have had that kill. So a bit sad. They could have really got something flowing, but hey, it's fine.
Yeah, just a small little missed opportunity for TFL, but Sanfu again doing very well to escape without that heal, because Goncast did take the exhaust.
I would like to see the plays up. I do think Barrier for the Rise is a very strange hit. I would expect to see exhaust. Ooh, nice Sanfu there.
Sanfu proving himself to suddenly be carrier. Never mind. Oh wait, what? Oh, Zac used the blast cone to keep the Q, but then blast cone himself over. But Akil using the flash is going to find out. There's a fantastic Eve ult from the Diana. Akil has been exhausted and he will go down. The Art of Insects is next, and AMX. This is just, I think they're just going to donate this kill over to the Yasuo. Oh no, they're not. They're going to give it over to Goncast. And
yeah, splitting up the kills this time it's a good start. I personally would have let Diana have it. I mean, she has a Dark Seal. That's going to give you more. I get the idea of putting it onto your AD carry, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, it was what started off so well for TFL did actually turn quite bad, as now they are going to lose the tier 1.
Yeah, first turret, it's and over to Diana and Yasuo.
Yeah, and there's 2
and
levels
Winter steps up.
Yeah, oh, this is just the end. He doesn't have the barrier. Zephyr's going to find a kill. Sanfu is going to find the hook. Pineapple stepping up just to provide a little bit of coverage for his support as Art of Insects. Without the passive, cannot really find anything else there onto Zephyr. And this is
suddenly, the game is slipping out of TFL's hands.
Yeah, and with those extra kills now, the Yasuo completes the mythic item, the Immortal Shield Bow. Gonna make him an absolute nuisance to kill. And it's really just a shame, because Winter did start off so well, but then one play goes so badly wrong for TFL. They overextend just that little bit too much. And I think that's Akil's over-aggression, in a sense, of that he didn't have to flash an ult for that kill. As there is the EQ, but Zephyr is there in the background. I don't know why I'm saying EQ, because it was hooked into the E for Zac. Good use of the Featherstorm by Pineapple. Gonna use the flash to bring the root down, and there's the double root, but the Immortal Shield Bow coming in. So much lifesteal, but there's the Pike ultimate. It's gonna actually, provide inflation for Summoner's Rift, duplicating that gold, but it's a double kill for Styx, and that's what you need. Malphite coming in with the ultimate, I guess just a gap close. And there is the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. Is it going to be a kill for Akil? It's a triple kill for the Pike, as Raktox picks up that kill. And oh my lord.
And, hey. I suppose at least Pike has kills.
Yeah, provide inflation for Summoner's Rift, and,
Meanwhile, Mordekaiser will get to push the top.
Oh, as Arzen says, they tried to time the CC with the E on Styx, but it was not enough, and Styx now is just going to win this 1v1. I think it's going to be very hard for the Zac to win. Yeah, there's the kill. Styx adding more to his Dark Seal stacks as now Adrenaline. It's going to use the fact that Raktox went for the Brome and his level advantage to try and bully him out of this lane, but it's just getting worse and worse for TFL as the minutes tick by. Oh, and Winter's been caught out. There's the barrier. Just trying to
barrier.
And there is the ignite.
Oh.
Oh, it's just so sad to see. Winter falls again. Just trying to check everything is. I did not realize that they were in the death realm for adrenaline.
How did I? But gonna get out. Yeah, that's why I thought barrier was a strange choice. You saw the barrier there essentially stopped 1Q's worth of damage from the Yasuo, whereas something like the exhaust, as well as slowing him, you're likely to stop probably closer to 2 or 3
Yeah, and
Q's in auto's worth.
And now AMX here just. I'm not really sure. They're just invading. They're doing whatever they want out of insects. Did use the slingshot in to steal the red buff from the Yasuo, so it's the little victories right now. As there's the ultimate. Oh, perfectly timed ultimate from Styx. Cancels out the Gale Force from the Xayah. As there is a Akil, and he finds the kill onto Yasuo. And this Pyke, yeah, okay, maybe over-aggressive, but he's backing it up with some statement kills.
The good thing is that Winter had tagged Yasuo, so he should have got that bonus 300, I think it is gold. You did get a 300, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Brain not working, but
no understanding Pyke. No one does.
getting the gold out, very good. Yeah, see, it looks like it will be an AP rise as opposed to one of the more tanky variations. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing at all.
Oh yeah, not at all. Not at all. You know, more damage for the rise. I mean, the tankiness is just that so that he can spam out more EQs during the fight, because isn't his passive something about, like, it converts bonus mana to ability power? That's why the tank build became so popular.
No, it converts. That's what the AP one does now. Oh, not ability power. It converts it to
Mana.
what's it do? The AP one's ability haste. The mana one is, or the tank one is health. But also, whenever you stun whenever you immobilize someone, you get a shield, and the shield is absolutely massive.
Oh my god, Zephyr with a big shield there, but Akil did miss the ultimate. Pineapple is going to bring back those feathers, so it does find the kill onto Zephyr. Art of Insects did manage to get saved by Adrenaline's TP, and this constant fighting just really, I think, playing into TFL's hands as AMX constantly finding themselves caught out. And there's the hook to cancel out the Nautilus hook. Going to give over the kill to Winter, and Winter is now on the board with this rise. TFL now finding these picks where they need to.
Yeah, I'll say Nautilus hook there was actually well timed. He just actually missed the wall at the end. He wasn't quite close enough. Otherwise, he would have got pulled away. That is how the Nautilus hook works. Ooh, not respecting the Tristana damage.
Not at all, as Goncast finds himself a kill. That I did not expect. But Insects comes in and makes sure that Tristana did indeed get splattered all over the rift, as Styx gonna flash after the defensive flash of Insects. Zephyr now. Winter trying to retreat to his wave, but you're not going anywhere, son. Gets absolutely obliterated by Zephyr. And the crown of the Shattered Queen for the rise. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I get a lot of the damage from the enemy team is gonna be an upfront burst, but the problem sort of is Yasuo will be looking to, ult you, and by the time the ult is over, your crown is gonna have worn off.
Yeah.
So all of the damage that comes afterwards, it's not gonna get reduced. You're essentially gonna reduce the ult damage, which is pretty low.
And really, the main reason why Yasuo's ult is to gap close, is to either gap close or for the armor shred, really. It's not really for the damage.
Yeah, and CC for his team, honestly.
Like that, like what's just happened to Adrenaline, where Adrenaline is now just in 1v1, and I think he's going to not force the Ignite, he's going to survive on 1 HP, either thanks to the Conqueror or just the fact that the Ignite was not enough.
Yeah, honestly, Yasuo ult is one of the most disgusting abilities in the game. Despite it not doing much damage, it provides like 2 seconds or something of CC that can hit an entire enemy team. It provides 50% armor pen.
Is that for the entire team, or is that just for him?
just for him, but against everyone. It used to be against targets you altered. I think now it's just against just against everyone. Just Yasuo gets 50%, gets to ignore 50% of your bonus armor.
It's pretty disgusting as AMX now start up the Hextech Drake. Good hook from Akil to try and isolate Raktox from the team, and Art of Insect opting out of that slingshot, not wanting to do anything, and AMX really putting a chokehold on this game now. They have a very early soul point 18 minutes into the game. Zephyr just constantly looking with these nados.
And it's a really nice soul for them as well. Free static shift passive, with I think there's a mini slow on it, I think.
Yeah, there
exactly,
is indeed.
But...
there's the airborne from the Art of Insect to keep Zephyr stunned, or airborned up, I should say. There's the Gale Force, the ult from Pike. Inflation hitting the Rift again.
You know what? I respect the attempt from Zephyr there, flashing the wall, but he was never getting out of that.
Yeah. So I just had to try and fight and see what damage he could do. He probably could have taken one with him. Really. But instead opted to try and escape and didn't manage to. There's adrenaline now.
Can TFL get anything done with the kill on the Yasuo? It does not look like it. They'll just take time to back. The Hex Gate's being used for a speedy retreat.
Yeah, the first time we've seen the Hex Gate's being used to retreat from a location, not to be aggressive.
Which is, fun.
Yeah,
I like the Hex Gates.
They really had an interesting dynamic to the game.
Yeah, something that's, doesn't feel bullshit like some other Drakes that are no longer in the game.
Yeah, which they got rid of because purely because of Renata. But we're not going to say anything about that. As AMX now looking to fight for the Baron. And an interesting mythic I want to point out is the Kraken Slayer on the Tristana. I mean, I'm not sure.
It does often go Kraken Slayer. I mean, there will be big resistances on the Zac if you think you're going to have to work your way through him. Eventually, Mordekaiser is going to pick up some resistances. Might have been expecting a tank rise as well. But Kraken Slayer itself is just quite a strong...
Yeah, and that is a big ultimate from Ratos, and the even bigger ultimate from Styx, but did get ulted by Adrenaline to cancel out that second bit of damage, but it does leave them in a 2v4 as Zaya, managed to pick up a big blade, blade storm there, but it does not matter anyway. Zephyr picking up the quadra kill on the Yasuo, and AMX now turn towards the Baron. And it's, oh god, it's not looking good for
3,000 gold
TFL.
lead, about to become a 3,000 gold lead. Not the most impactful lead, but TFL are struggling.
Yeah, extremely struggling.
It feels like in the team fights, they're just not quite on the same page of who they want to hit first. The way they should probably be playing it is trying to just help Pineapples create the space to put the feathers down. It kind of felt same sort of thing the last game, where the team needed to be with the Vigor, playing around the cooldowns, but you could see them engaging when Vigor's just kind of sitting there, like, I've just used all my burst, I can't press any of my buttons right now.
Yeah.
There is an engaged down bot lane.
Yeah, Styx using that ultimate, keeping Winter in place, manages to find the kill. AMX now just, let's say, dominance everywhere. TFL are in full retreat every time they see a blue, a health bar that is not their own, and it's just really, I guess a testament to how well AMX. Yeah, big bounty there. But a testament to how AMX have controlled this game since they've got ahead. They've done, I think, a much better job of controlling the game than last game, where last game they were sort of sucked into a lot of fights that they didn't need to take because they thought they were so far ahead. Whereas now they're starting to be a little bit, I don't want to say smarter with their engages, but it's like, I don't know how else to say it. They're being more calculated. with when they force things to happen.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this of who should the Mordekaiser be ulting, because we saw last fight he ulted the Diana. What essentially happened was he got close to killing Diana, and then Diana pressed stopwatch and waited out most of the Mordekaiser ult. And it made me think, sure, you can ult the Diana because she's going to jump in second and she's going
But the
to pull
airborne's off
everyone in
the
together.
first. Oh, isn't it? It's off the first video. The damage is the second part.
Yeah.
So
But you can like ult her on her way in so that she doesn't get to ult the entire enemy team. But then I was thinking, well, the whole reason for that is actually you want the Yasuo to be able to ult. The Yasuo doesn't have a stopwatch. Even if you can't 1v1 him, should you just be actually ulting the Yasuo as Mordekaiser?
He does now. He doesn't stop it. But I understand your point. I think do ult the Yasuo because you do steal the stats as well. So he won't deal as much damage in the realm. To you, so you can actually last that a little bit longer. So AMX are forced to either play through the Tristana, which is not exactly a bad thing because Gonkas is 4-2, does have that Kraken Slayer as pineapples, force use the Gale Force extremely defensively, but there is the Hex Tech. As the flash ult from Styx misses, but it doesn't matter. They are so far ahead. There's the flash ultimate from Raktok, keeping Winter in place. And both carries are down. Akil misses the ult as well. There's the Buster shot from Gonkas. Does put Akil further away, but there's the Ignite. It is the ace. And you have to think it is the end of the game. The Art of Insects, no passive to really defend this. Defend the base. But
there's a Mordekaiser up that he'd have to pretty much give his life here to kill the wave. And then...
and he did not manage to kill the wave. As Raktox does fall to the tower, did tank it a little bit too much, but there's the ace again, and you have to think there is the game. Pineapples is up and available to try and clear the wave, but it's not going to be enough. Zephyr just too much HP. Gonkas in the backline just focusing the end as well, and there's nothing that TFL can do. It is a 2-0 for AMX. Game number 1 was a little bit dragged out. TFL almost bringing it back, but game 2, a lot more controlled, and just I don't want to say a stomp, but AMX didn't look like they were losing that game at all.
No, they were much more in control. I think they had a better team comp to do it, an easier way to win that second game, but they did perform on it. They executed it and they won the game, giving them a 2-0 in this series, which I believe I don't have any of the stuff open because, I didn't think to bother opening it. Roster and standings. Yeah, that's what I want to look at. What does that mean? Because I think this is the second set of games. Yeah, so they lost their first.
AMX or TFL?
AMX lost their first series against Null 8. The implications here are kind of interesting because Firelights drew against, was it Phoenix Ascension or was it Solari? But they drew against one of them, and AMX has just beaten them. Null 8 beat AMX, so are Null 8 just way ahead of the rest of the league, or it's going to be interesting to see if this is just AMX stepping up, or it's just them getting their god tier draft, because it did feel like this is the draft that they like.
It was Phoenix Ascension they tied with, because Crescent Solari played Cataclysm, and they tied.
There we go. Yeah, so...
Sorry for anyone that was planning on watching the VODs of Solari versus Cataclysm. I did just spoil it then. But yeah, that is a... Well, Ocean League is definitely spruced it up to be a little bit of a feisty one this season.
Yeah.
It's not... No one is really... I mean, Null 8 is right now the only one that took a win away from the first week.
And they're up against Cataclysm this week. Cataclysm, a team that, can pop off. So,
yeah,
we'll see how they hold up against Cataclysm. I will say AMX did look weaker last week. It feels like they stepped up, but again, can't be sure whether that's the draft helping them out or if that's just improvements. It'd be nice if it was improvements.
Yeah, would be nice. But well, that's it for the VODs. We only had the one VOD. We do still have to do Potato Esports versus NSG Niflheim. I assume that's how they say the name. However,
I thought it was Nilfheim, and I wrote everything as Nilfheim, and then one of them said to me like, "By the way, you spelled it wrong. It's Niflheim." And I was like, okay."
okay.
I swear Nilfheim's from somewhere. That must be why I remembered it.
Just swap the L and the F, and it'll make it easier for us, guys. Thank you. Anyway, Niflheim versus Potato Esports. If any, they're probably not watching, but if any of you are, please send your VODs through as soon as possible, and then we'll get them done as soon as possible. We don't want to have a last season conundrum where we ended up having like a VOD backlog of like 7 different series we had to do, and it was terrible. It was just straight torture. So we're trying to keep on top of it.
We have some games later today as well, and
we
have games tomorrow. Then I guess we'll the VODs on Tuesday. If I have time on Tuesday, I might grab one.
Yeah, I'm off on Tuesday, so I can cover it as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's we will have today. I will be back later today for Crescent Solari versus Phoenix Ascension. Is that right? That's the one that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crescent Solari versus Phoenix Ascension. I agree, Yatagna. TFL Winter being held back by his team. It was a bit unfortunate to see, but you know. Yeah, so we will be back with Phoenix Ascension versus Crescent Solari later on at 6 p.m. GMT, so 7 p.m. CET for anyone in Europe. Or are we?
I believe so. I'm just asking one of the teams to confirm that is the time.
Yeah, we believe so. If there's any changes, we'll let you know. And it may actually be then, if there is a change in time and it's a little bit later, that the VOD, or not the VOD, the game that we're covering is Guys in Real Life versus Potato Esports. So, yeah, depending on time, it's either going to be Phoenix Ascension versus Crescent Solari or Potato Esports versus Girl. And we will be back later. So, ciao for now, literally.
See you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile.